In this interview, we had the pleasure of speaking with Jon Bell, the man with one of the hardest jobs here at RJP Estate Planning. Jon helps out with our death claims and our successor trustee assistance, answering calls and guiding clients through the next steps while they're already dealing with the grief of losing a loved one. He has so much wisdom and experience in this position, partially due to his personal story that he shares during this interview. We hope you enjoy his interview and insights on estate planning with RJP.
What does a typical workday look like for you?
For me, at RJP Estate Planning, my day is involved in dealing with either surviving spouses or the successor trustees, who are the persons appointed by the clients to represent them when they've passed away, and explaining to them the services that we provide them, and then sending them information on how to proceed further.
How do you handle so many emotional phone calls throughout the day?
Well, the reason I can do that is, first of all, I'm probably, with only a couple of exceptions, I am old enough to be the grandfather of everybody that works at RJP Estate Planning. And I've had, because I'm that old, I've had a lot of life experiences that some of them have not had. One of my life experiences is I lost my wife to cancer when she was 35, and I was left a widower with 4 school-age children, and had to deal with not only the grief that comes with losing not only your spouse, but your best friend, and then raising children on my own, which was not something I anticipated doing. And because of that experience and the fact that over the years I've had other family members die and friends of mine have died, it's not that I'm insensitive, but it's easier for me to deal with it than someone who's not been through those experiences.
What is the most fulfilling part of working with RJP Estate Planning?
That's easy, because everybody that calls me has no idea what they're supposed to do or how they're supposed to go about doing it. And what I do is I explain that we have a tremendous service. And to me, quite frankly, it's the biggest service, or what the clients get most for doing business with RJP Estate Planning in the first place. And that's the assistance that we give the person or successor trustee when somebody dies. Because all of them are in the same boat. They have no idea what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to go about doing it. What they do have is a bunch of legal documents that they got from RJP Estate Planning, which they don't understand. And there's a lot of attorneys that don't understand those documents unless they practice this kind of law. And the worst part of it, in all cases, they've just lost somebody that they deeply care about. So their emotional state isn't really all that great. And my job is to ease their anxiety. And I won't be able to ease the emotional pain. That's just something they're going to live with. But that is primarily it.
What is the hardest part of settling a trust on top of dealing with grief?
Actually, if the trust is in order, there's nothing hard about it. A trust, an estate plan that is in proper order can be settled, believe it or not, in a couple of hours. But the key is to have it in order. And I'll explain that in the next question.
What do you think the most useful thing the original trustor can do before passing to help out the beneficiaries and successor trustees?
That's a great question. It's also the easiest question. Is the trustors, or trustor, if there's only one of them, is having those documents reviewed periodically. One of the benefits they get for doing business with RJP Estate Planning is they're entitled to reviews of their documents as frequently as they want at no charge and no fees. If they do that, then, and what's being checked is to make sure that everything is still the way they want it, that their assets that are to be protected from the trust are structured in such a way that they will be protected from probate in the event they die. But the problem is most people don't do it. And my biggest disappointment is when I have to tell somebody because I discover that assets aren't titled to the trust. Usually it's the house, which is usually their biggest asset, and the one that they was the motivating factor for them getting the documents from us in the first place. It's not in the trust. And there's a reason for that. And usually because they refinanced it. When you refinance your house and it's in a trust, the lender is going to make you take it out of the trust. And the idea is to put it back in. Sometimes it doesn't get put back in. And that's the first thing I check when I get a phone call, somebody telling me that somebody's passed away. Whether it's the spouse or the successor trustee, I immediately check, which is easy to do, to see to it that that property is in the trust. If it's not in the trust and I'm talking to the spouse, it can be fixed. If it's the successor trustee, it can't be fixed. The genie's out of the bottle and it can't be put back in.
We hope you enjoyed this interview with Jon Bell, and if you have any questions, please let us know in the comments, and if you would like to get started with a free one-on-one consultation, click the link in our description. Thank you.